Hello everybody. I'm a bit late actually. So tonight I wanted to talk to people about the legacy that we leave our kids and maybe the legacy we have ourselves. And my name is Debbie Carberry. You can find me at debbiecarberry.com.au. I'm hoping I get some lovely people on the live call because that's always fun. And I'm going to be here for a little while. So if you have any questions at all about your history, your parenting, relationships in general, then you are more than welcome to pop them onto the comments below. And I will do my best. I'm a little bit technophobic and an awful lot not good with technology, actually. I'm just not good at it. So if I stuff it up, it's not necessarily because I ignored you, it's just because I really struggle with technology. Anywho, so tonight the topic is about what's the legacy that we leave our kids. And I'm talking about the connection, bonding, love legacy, I guess. And I guess I want people to think about, hi, who's ever just joined me, what I want people to think about is, what legacy did your parents give you? Like, can you remember some of the really standout things from your history? Can you remember how you guys dealt with conflict? Or how your parents communicated with each other, and if your parents were together or were they separated, were there other family members that were involved in your family? So what did it look like growing up in your house? Because that's where we learn how to do connection, belonging and bonding. That is the beginning of it. That's where we start. And if you think about how we learn and when we learn, so if we're learning between 0 and 3 years old, during that time, we don't have language, or at least very little language. We can't really understand complex things, so we're quite simplistic in the way we look at things. Kids are brilliant because they're really fine-tuned into the way they feel about stuff. And so if you imagine 0 to 3, you're learning how to bond and connect and be with the adults around you. And then understanding that you take that stuff, that non-verbal, non-really like memory stuff that you can't pull it up in your memory and go, oh, I remember when you're really tiny, you don't remember when. But if you imagine that, you go into adult relationships, that's your roadmap. What you learned back then is the roadmap that you use in your parenting, in your intimate relationships. You use it, of course, still with your family of origin, with your siblings, with your friends, with your colleagues. But if you imagine that that's your roadmap, have a think about it. What did your parents teach you? What did your caregivers teach you? Just want to say one thing here. This is not bashing parents, especially not mums. Like, I'm not here to go, your parents did a really crappy job. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm a mum. I've got 4 kids. I have made lots and lots and lots of mistakes. The roadmap that I was given wasn't a good roadmap. It wasn't a healthy roadmap. It didn't teach me how to do my job well as a mother. When I got into parenting, I felt like I was winging it most of the time. I read every single book I could get my hands on, and most of them contradicted each other. And I still felt like I didn't get it. It wasn't instinctive. It wasn't intuitive. For me, it was like, I need to learn how to do this because I have 4 children and I need to do this. I guess, it's funny because I think our culture talks about us being, like it's something, being a mum is something that you just have. I don't know about that. I think that we do. I do not know a parent anywhere, like not one single parent anywhere that I've ever met, and I've been in private practice in Brisbane, Australia for 10 years. I've not once met a mum or parent or a dad, right, who wakes up in the morning and goes, I think I'll do a really crap job at this today. The parents that I see are highly motivated, want the very best for their children, love their children deeply, and struggle. They struggle. And our culture talks about it's easy and it's simple and it's pink and everybody gets on and there's no conflict and we're all happy. I don't know about that. I really hope that Facebook doesn't take that as one of the still shots because that would make me sad. I guess what I'm trying to say is you know, the pressure to be a good mum, you know, a good mum or a good parent or a good dad, the pressure. And what does that look like? Gosh, depends on your culture, depends on your age, depends on your history. Parenting is really complicated. I think we all want to shine brightly, and I think we all want to do our best, but, and I hear this so frequently, and it's so sad for me as a clinician, but also as a mum. When my doors close in my clinic and it's just me and the other person sitting in the room, and the woman starts to talk, and generally it goes something like this: I yell at my kids, I lose it, I'm angry, and then the tears, you know, and they cover their faces, and the wash of shame that comes over people around the stuff they dare not share with other people, the stuff that is so private and is so shaming for them. And I always say, hang on a second, you are in the majority, not the minority. You know, I love these parenting books, you know, don't yell at your kids. Well, I'm a therapist and I can tell you I do yell at my kids. You know, don't be consistent. And I go, yeah, consistency is really good. But if you happen to have a bunch of kids and you are stretched like a rubber band that's going to snap because maybe you have money issues, maybe you have relationship issues, maybe you're having a bad day, maybe you have mental health problems, maybe you have, you know, a myriad of other things going on. And don't we want to just be completely consistent and available? And we want to do that, of course we do. But can we realistically expect ourselves to do that day in, day out? And I think it's really unfair for anybody, professionals like me and others, to come out and have a go. It's like, seriously? People are doing their very best. There's a silly thing. Oh, it's gone. Thank goodness. There's a thing that just dropped in. I did say I didn't have good technology skills, and I have to tell you, something weird happened. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to pretend I can't see it and hope it goes away. So what I'm saying is, you know, there's this wash of shame that comes over many parents when they don't do what they believe is what good parenting is. And it's like, cut yourself some slack. If you imagine anything you do in your life, right, so off we go as young kids, and our parents, non-verbally, by the way we interact with each other, by the way we do the dance of getting our needs met, our parents teach us how to get what we need. And you go into your parenting gig and it's like, well, here's my toolbox. This is the box my folks gave me, and it's got all my tools in here, right? So when my kid kicks off, or when I can't get them to eat their food, or when they trash the house, or when everybody's screaming and yelling and being loud, and I lose it, well, that's what's in my toolbox. That's what I was taught. You know, maybe my parent didn't cope really well, and maybe my parent yelled and shouted, or maybe I'm a really permissive parent. Maybe I go, I don't upset them. I want them to be happy. I want them to have a different history to me. I hear this story a lot. Like, I don't want them to have the life I had. It's well-intentioned, but it can be really challenging, and it can cause a lot of problems. Sometimes I hear parents say, you know, I didn't have the best modelling in the world, so what I decided to do was just do the opposite of what my parents did. It can work to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, it's not intentional parenting. It's defaulting to the opposite of, which could move you way at the other end of the spectrum. You know, like, you maybe become really permissive. You might want to be your kid's best friend. That's not a parent's job. It's not our job to be their best friend. It's also not our job to make them happy. That's not our job. And I know people go, oh my goodness, what do you mean it's not our job? But it's not. Excuse me. Our job is to teach kids how to do their life. Our job is to teach them how to be decent citizens, how to be self-sufficient, how to manage struggle. That's our job. That's what we are supposed to do with our kids. I'm going to have some water. So, you know, when I'm talking to parents, I'm like, you know, you need to get this balanced ground of understand what the role is, and you know, maybe you need to do some new learning, maybe you need to understand better, maybe you need some new skills or new tools. But at the end of the day, you need a clear idea of, you know, they're not your best friend. In our culture, and something that really grinds on me a little bit is, you know, this child-centric world we live in does my head in. It does my head in. And the reason for that is, you know, I see parents literally bend themselves into pretzels so that their kids can have everything they want and need. And what happens is we get a breed of child who goes, I am so entitled, at the expense of parents. You know, I've seen kids be aggressive to parents. I've seen the disrespecting of parents. I've seen the lack of appreciation. Kids and adults, we are hardwired for struggle. We're supposed to struggle. It's a part of a process. It's a really important part of a process. And when parents go, I just don't want them to have to struggle, you're not helping them. All you're doing is not allowing them to have that experience. There is a sense of absolute joy when you achieve something. There's a sense of accomplishment and achievement, and go you. We teach people, you know, we teach our little people about quick rewards and being praised for everything, and I think it's not helpful for kids. I really don't think it's helpful for kids. All of you are sitting quietly unless my computer is not working, which is quite possible. So if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying, I'm more than happy for you to just pop them on to the page. I'm trying to manage 2 pages so I can understand. If you see my eyes wandering, it's because I am really trying to understand a bit of technology over there and a bit of technology here. So if you've got any questions, please pop them on, because I would like to answer them if it's possible. You can pop them down there, any questions. You can also flick things across the screen because I've seen them. So if you want to do that, that'd be lovely, because it's nice, because I can see some of you are there. I see eyeballs, but I don't see people. So if you have any questions, pop them on, because I'm keen to sort of answer any questions I can. I also wanted to give you some tips. So as far as parenting goes, it's really super important to, number one, take care of yourself. You are the most important person in your children's life. I mean, their dad is too if you're a mum, and of course mum is if you're a dad. You know, the two parents, if you're in a two-parent household, they are the two most important people. And I think when we come from a place of emptiness, you know, I listen to women talk about, I am so tired, I just am knackered, I don't even have the energy to engage. Oftentimes I'll just go, oh, whatever, you just do whatever you want, because they're so depleted. Women have to start giving themselves permission to take what they need first. And I think I'm a massive crusader of this. I am the self-care queen, in my opinion. I do take care of myself. I do make sure I've got backup and support. I am happy to surrender some control and some power in my life to go, I just don't have enough to give. You know, I've got 4 children and a partner and a home and a job and a life, not much of a personal life, because my life is full with all the other things. But I know that if I don't look after myself, if I don't give myself permission to ask for help and to get what I really need, then I'm not going to be the sort of mum that I want to be. Some really important things that I do. So one is a brilliant acronym that I use. It's called HALT, H-A-L-T. It's an acronym that's used in lots of different circles, and I like it because it's nice and easy and it's a reminder. So I say to women, check in. Are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Or are you tired? And you need to check in. So when we're at what feels like the limit and we feel like, oh my gosh, I just can't do this, I am so beside myself, taking the time you need to slow down and go, where am I at with this? You know, do I need to eat some food? Do I need some companionship? You know, mums, I remember when I had 4 little ones, you know, if you're at home day in, day out with your child, You know, kids, they're not really full of praise. They can tend to get cranky with you and not want to eat and throw things around the house and make a big old mess. So as a mum who's at home with kids, it can be really exhausting and a really thankless task at times. So not getting too lonely is a big issue, and you've got to plug into, how am I going to fit this in? Thank God for the internet, because that can be helpful. Am I tired? Now, sometimes we don't get a choice. You know, we're tired and we're tired. And maybe we can't get any sleep. Maybe we have a baby and we're woken every 2 hours. Maybe we have a sick kid. Maybe we don't have support. And it's about, okay, what can I do? And it might be, I'm going to sit quietly while my kids play on the floor. I'm going to lie down on the sofa while my kids play on the floor. And that's okay. You can give yourself permission to do that. And I was talking to a mum recently who's really anti-TV, which I think is great. You know, don't let them watch too much TV, don't want to be on games and devices too much. But, you know, her kid was really sick and she had a lot on. And I was like, give yourself permission to stick him in front of a couple of movies. Like, sometimes that's what you need to do. And of course, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So if we're hungry, I bet you've done this, right? Tim Tams, chippies, soft drink. Because, like, you just want something quick and easy and probably not so good for you. But it's important to have a stash of stuff that's, you know, get some nuts, get some fruit, you know, important vitamins for your body if you're tired. You know, the B vitamins are super important. Making sure you have things like magnesium and zinc that help your body, you know, to help calm your body and your muscles. So it's really important to do that. The other thing is breathing, which, you know, is so underrated in my opinion. Like, we have to breathe to live, which is important. But the other breathing, the intentional breathing, you know, the square breathing, in through your nose for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, rest for 4, and do it again. That box breathing, the square breathing, that just helps to calm us down and bring our blood pressure down. Or my favorite, which is the 4-7-8 breathing, which is the bomb. It's a yoga breath, and you do it like that with your tongue behind your teeth. And there's research that shows that it really settles your central nervous system down and helps to calm you. And I think, you know, it's easy. It's easy to go, you know, oh, I should breathe. But when you're in the midst of the chaos, sometimes we forget. And I guess the other thing that we have to do is be self-compassionate and remember that we're doing our best. And yet, you know what? Sometimes our best is just sticking ourselves on the sofa with our feet up having a cup of tea. And it's like, you know what? It's chaotic and it's crazy, and I'm okay with that today, because that's what we need. I guess, because I'm going to be coming to an end, since there's not too many questions or any questions, there's a thing on my phone. I don't even know what that is. If I press this, I'm scared if I press a button, it'll make something happen that's bad. No, it's not going to do anything. Oh, it did. Okay, good. I'm so afraid of technology. So, what was I saying? Goodness gracious, now I've lost my train of thought. Let me just think. What was I saying? I heard that. Parenting, yes. So, I guess what I want women to know is our parenting comes from the stuff we were taught. Guess what? You're teaching your kids. So we don't teach them by saying, hey, sweetie, you got to have good self-esteem and you've got to love your body. And, hey, darling, you know, you just got to do your best and that's good enough. Unless we embody that, kids know we're bluffing. They know we're lying. They take on the stuff we don't say. Like in here, they feel it in here. So when you're doing your interactions, you imagine your children watching you. What do they see and what do they hear and what do they feel? You know, how do you greet your partner? What do you do when you're exhausted? What do you do when you lose it? What do you do when you're overwhelmed? How do you manage connection? How do you do repair? And that's what you teach them, not what you talk about. Because what you talk about, if it's not consistent with what you do, they're like bull terriers, kids, and they sniff it out and go, you're not telling the truth though. We need to embody what we want them to have. I don't know a mum or dad anywhere who doesn't go, I want the very best for my kids. I certainly do. You know, I've got 4 kids and I want the very best for them. I want them to have choices. I want them to be independent and strong. I want them to have tenacity and resilience. I want them to be able to overcome struggle. I want to teach them how to do that. Sometimes that's a really tough gig because it's on me. So if I'm having a bad day and I lose it and I don't do the right thing and sit down and go, oh shit, that was bad, kids, really sorry, like I lost it, I don't think I was very appropriate. My kids are teenagers, by the way. You know, I'm really sorry about that. Then I'm teaching them about how you handle that kind of situation because I'm demonstrating it. If I have a fight with my partner and we're full at it because I'm a bit fiery, then it's important after that event, because my kids hear it, I don't hide stuff from them, but they watch us repair that. They watch us both put down our armoury and turn towards each other and say, wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? Are you okay? Like, you know, I'm really sorry that I got upset and I want us to work it out. My kids learn repair from that. They learn and understand that it's not the fighting that is the problem. That's not the problem. Fighting is okay as long as you fight fair. But fighting's fine. It's the next thing. It's what we do after we've fought. Do we go off into an icy space and not speak to our partner? Do we sulk for days on end? Do we bang and crash things around the house and say, no, I'm fine, I'm actually fine, thanks, I'm fine. But we're actually behaving in ways that demonstrate we are not okay, because our little people with their big binoculars are watching us. They're watching us and going, that's how you deal with upset. That's how you deal with anger. That's how you deal with strong emotion. You know, the parents that walk out and slam doors and their kids are like, you know, oh, that's what you do. That's what you do when somebody's hurt you deeply and you feel really distressed. You get up and you slam the door and you walk away. That isn't the legacy we want for our kids, I don't think. You are all so quiet. I see the beady eyes. I wish, can you put something in the comments or flick one of the things across the screen so I know you're there? I'm talking to myself. I'm not, because I can see you. So the bottom line is this, that as parents, what we teach is not what we say. What we teach is what we do. All right, if you've got any questions, pop me in, because I'm going to go in a minute. I'm going to say one more thing. For parents who need to, within Australia at least, we have Parent Line. Parent Line is a phone number, 1300 number in Australia. You can Google it and you'll find Parent Line. It is a free number. They're open 8 to 10 p.m. every single day. They are trained counsellors. They are, in my experience, very beautiful counsellors. They tend to be very supportive and kind. They're there to just listen if you want. They're there and they can offer you strategies if you need them. Sometimes they're there just to support you and help you through a tough time. So if you need that help, Parent Line is something you can call, and I'll put Parent Line's number down in the comments below when I'm finished. All right, nobody's saying a thing, so I am going to go. It has been lovely doing another Facebook Live. This is my second one. I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives for, I don't know how long, for a long time. So you'll notice on my events tab on the right side, I hope I'm on the right or left, on one of the sides of this video, I think it's over there, you will notice the events come up on the right hand side, and on that you will see the upcoming events. So I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives every Thursday at 7:30 with a bunch of different topics. I'm kind of going to be rolling through things like parenting, relationships, and also looking after yourself and some of the struggles that women, because that's my major audience who comes to look on my page, about women and some of the things that we go through and some of the things that we need help with. So those are going to be coming up, so go and have a look at those. You're more than welcome to come. If you have any questions that you want answered about tonight, I will check in and I will answer every question that goes in there. I'm more than happy to do that. If you're looking for some more parenting information, if you go to my website, debbiecarberry.com.au, on the blog, you will find lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of articles about parenting and raising kids. You'll also find lots of articles about how your history impacts on your parenting and your relationship today. So, excuse me, you're more than welcome to go and grab what you need. All right, it has been lovely.